was having a conversation with one of my really good friends the other day, and she asked me this question. She said, if you could wave a magic wand right now and be working in your dream job, like have the career that you dream about, what would you be doing? What would it be? And so I gave her like an answer, right? I told her, well, my dream career would ideally be something in community outreach. I would be, responsible for program management and initiatives to help improve health literacy in our communities, and also, improve patient experiences while also helping healthcare systems improve employee well-being. So like, I'm really big on just making sure that people are taken care of across the board. And she was like, okay, that's cute. She was like, but I don't think that's really it. She was like, I don't know. It feels like you're leaving so much behind because you're afraid to say what you really want to be doing every day. The work that if you woke up every day and this is the work you had to do, you would do it with a smile on your face. You would do it with joy in your heart. You would do it without thinking twice about it. She was like, I don't hear that in that answer. She was like, it sounds like a very safe answer. She was like, which is fine. She was like, but I just don't believe that's all you want to do. And when she said it, I got really quiet on the phone, because first off, girl, why are you all in my business, right? Why are you all over here? Secondly, it really made me think, because I was like, wow, I do choose the safe route, because that answer felt safe. It felt realistic. It felt doable. Even though I've applied for multiple jobs that meet a lot of that criteria, and I haven't been offered a position, and the positions that I have, been considered for, the salary is nowhere near what I make now as a sonographer, so I can't realistically take it. And so I was really quiet for a few minutes, and I was like, you know what? You're right. I said, so if I release all my safety net, right, and I take off all of the politically correct things and all of the realistic things, my dream career is doing all of the things that bring me joy every day. And I told her, in my world, right, in my dream life, waking up to do work every day would consist of me running my beauty supply shop and being a community hub and being a safe space, providing education and resources for my community, circulating wealth throughout my community. My ideal day of work would also consist of advocacy work, helping parents, especially moms like me, learn how to advocate for their kids, learn how to be the voice for their children, because I am a mom of a child with autism, and I spend a lot of time learning about autism and educating myself about resources, educating myself about laws. I spend a lot of time reading and learning and gathering information so that I am able to advocate for her. I'm able to teach her. I'm able to prepare her for the world. I also have created workshops and trainings for healthcare professionals in the pediatric setting to communicate better with parents and caregivers and children on the spectrum, because from personal experiences that I have had as her mom in healthcare settings, it prompted me to want to do something about the lack of awareness and competency in our facilities when it comes to autism and communication and how to actually care for these children. A day of work for me in my dream life, right, in the world that I envision for my family, would consist of me working with moms on pursuing their goals, pursuing their dreams, while they navigate complex family structures and complex problems, and while they try to figure out how their businesses should run, what their next career move should be, what their next life move should be. Just really being a strategic advisor to other moms, because I know firsthand what it's like to have challenges at home that other people may not understand and still have a desire for self-fulfillment and for goal achievement, and how you make it all work for you and your family. My ideal day would also consist of me just being a vessel, right? Being a resource, being able to transform situations and environments for the better of people, using my knowledge, my healthcare background, 20 plus years in clinical healthcare settings, 10 plus years in training and development, I'm talking years of leadership experience and how you translate being a parent, being a mom, into leadership experiences and leadership principles, and how you develop a leadership style that works for you both professionally and personally. My ideal work, my ideal career is me getting to do all of the things that bring me joy, and using all of the experience that I've gained over the years and all of the expertise that I have acquired over the years to serve others in a way that aligns with my skill set. And it might sound really strange, right? Because that's a whole lot of things, but they all boil down to one common theme. And that is, I am a fixer. I'm a problem solver. I see a problem, I assess the problem, I figure out what the actual problem is, and then I provide solutions. That's how I function. I like to see things working seamlessly. I don't like to I cannot function in chaos. I cannot function in chaos and disarray. I need systems. I need solutions. I need things to make sense. I make things make sense for other people. I help them see things in a different way so that they're able to do different things to get a result that now benefits them and the people that they serve. That is who I am at my core. And so for me, that career doesn't exist in the corporate setting. It doesn't exist in a healthcare position. It exists within me, and I'm responsible for putting it out there and establishing it and making it normal. And that is the uncomfortable part for me. Because when you are someone who is going against the grain and you're doing something that other people are constantly telling you not to do, you're like the oddball, and you're responsible for convincing people. And those are the things that are difficult for me, because I am just who I am naturally. My degrees, my certifications, all of those things are just enhancements to who I am naturally, and what I'm naturally good at, and what I thoroughly enjoy, and what I'm passionate about, and what I feel led to do, and what I feel my purpose here on earth is. All of the additional pieces of paper that are written down for people to read about are just extras to the natural person that I am. And when she asked me, and I had to think about it, and that was what I came up with, it really triggered something in me, because I realized that so many of us are stuck in this cycle of trying to do what's already been done because it's been proven to work, right? But what I've noticed, and I'm going to say this with my whole chest, what I've noticed since I stepped into the entrepreneurial space, like with my own business venture, since 2018, 95% of the women and the people that I was following and that I paid to work with, to learn from, that told me, in the beginning what I wanted to do was not what I should be doing, and I should be doing this or I should be doing that. 95% of those people have pivoted their businesses 10, 11 times since then. Because here's the thing, when you don't operate in your fullness and you don't operate in the gifts that God gave you, and you try to suppress so much of who you are, you end up doing things that don't really bring you joy and make you happy. And you put yourself in this limiting position. And then you end up changing and changing and changing, because none of those feel good to you, because none of them are allowing you to be your full, authentic self and work with all of your gifts and talents. I don't want to be in that box anymore. It's not fun to be your own limiting box. It's not fun to be your own self-critic. It is not fun to constantly try to live up to expectations that other people aren't even actually living up to, because they will tell you something, right? You'll pay for a course, you'll pay for support, they'll tell you, no, do X, Y, and Z, and then in 2 years you see them doing something totally different. And I've from watching those moments, I have come to the conclusion that I'm going to do this my way. And so my dream life is all of me. It's all of who I am. Opening my store creates generational wealth for my family. It creates community impact, because I'm able to hire within my community and teach young people in my community about entrepreneurship, and help young people in my community learn about clean beauty and wellness. Working with moms, it allows me to then utilize all of my degrees and all of the things I've learned about business and leadership to help them live the life that makes them happy. And by me doing all of the things that make me who I am, I'm able to show them that it's possible to be exactly who they are, have the families they have the challenges they have, and still be able to find fulfillment and achieve their goals and live out their dreams. It's possible. So I'm doing this my way, and I'm so grateful that I have friends who will ask me hard questions and make me really think about what it is I want and how I want to be and how I want to live and how I can do it as authentically as possible. I'm so grateful to have friends who challenge me in those areas, because if she hadn't asked me that question, I probably would still be thinking I have to pick one thing, because that's what everybody says. I have to pick one thing, but I can't pick one thing, because one thing does not fulfill me, and one thing is not going to create the life that I see for myself. It doesn't mean that I have to do all the things at one time, or grow all the things at one time, or start all of them at one time. But what it does mean is that I will do all of the things that make me who I am and allow me to live as authentically as possible. So You will hear me talk about autism. You will hear me talk about mental health challenges and what that looks like, raising a child who has mental health challenges. You will hear me talk about opening my store and doing my vendor events and doing my pop-up shops. And you will hear me talk about hormone disruptors and a lot of the products that we grab from CVS and the beauty supply store on a regular basis, and why it's important that we choose safer alternatives. You will hear me talk about women living out their dreams and finding their potential and pursuing their goals. You will hear me talk about helping women establish business boundaries and set up their businesses for success by having systems in place. You will hear me talk about having systems for your life. You will hear me talk about all of the things that make me who I am and that have helped me step into the woman that has achieved a lot. And that's a whole different video that I probably should do, but not celebrating all of the things that I've actually achieved because I feel like people will look at me funny because how do I make them relate? But honey, they all relate. They're all related because they're all aligned with who I am and what I'm supposed to do here on earth. So I'm celebrating all of those things. I've worked very hard. I've achieved a lot of things. There are people who have never ever started a single idea that they've had. They've just been living with the ideas. Some people have died with the ideas still in their head. I have tried almost every single one. That is an achievement. That is an accomplishment because it shows me that I'm not afraid to actually do work. I'm not afraid to try. I might be afraid of a lot of other things, but I'm not afraid of hard work, and I'm not afraid to at least try. So if this message is for you, I hope that you go out and become exactly who you desire to be. And if there's anything in particular that you think we should talk about next, drop a comment under the video.